If you have over $200,000 sitting stagnant in your bank, retirement account, or home equity, then you're literally losing money. On this show, you learn how to get that money working for you consistently and conservatively. Learn to grow your nest egg with your host, Shawn Winslow. Let's dive in.
This is the Multifamily Money Podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Winslow, and welcome back to another Multifamily Monday episode. For those that are new, every Monday we come at you all things multifamily real estate investing, where I bring in guests that are rock stars in this business. They share lessons they've learned, the struggles, the successes, and we also do some solo shows with me where I either talk about my experience in the multifamily real estate investment world, or I bring up topics that I think are vital to the industry as well. And then every Friday we come at you with all things personal finance. Those are our Finance Friday episodes where we're sharing tactical strategies to help you not only get your money working harder for you, but smarter, because after all, it's not what you make, but what you keep. And today's episode, we have some exciting news in the world of multifamily real estate. And so what that is Fannie Mae just announced last month or earlier this month, they're introducing a 5% down payment option for multifamily homes. And this is for 2, 3, and 4 unit multifamily homes. So they're offering up to, it used to be 15 to 25% down payment is what you'd get into, your duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. And now you can get into with a 5% down Fannie Mae loan. And why this is phenomenal is because you can get into a great product that is Fannie Mae, where they traditionally have better terms, better rates. It's backed by the federal government, and now you can get in 5% down. This is, wonderful news. And the loan amount is up to 1.3968. So $1,396,800. So roughly that's, a purchase around 1.5 million is where you'd max out. And most multifamily you're not, 2 to 4 multifamily, you're not going to hit that, unless you're out in some, West Coast, parts of California, maybe even parts of Massachusetts and New York. You might hit those in some other parts of the country, but most parts of the country, you're not going to even sniff that. But even so, you could probably get a duplex, out in some of those markets for that amount. But why I think this is really exciting is because if I knew as much as I know now about real estate investing, the power of real estate, how it can completely change your life, and truly build, not only cash flow, but real wealth for yourself and your family, and really just change the trajectory of your family. If I really knew all of this, I would have gone in harder, faster, all in way sooner than I did now into real estate. So this is an episode for those, that are just getting into this game, right? Doesn't really matter the age, but if you're younger, this is something that I would do if I was still in my 20s. But even if you haven't gotten into real estate, maybe you're trying to position your life into a better place, this is still a strategy for you. And I think this is the perfect strategy. If I was still in my 20s, this is what I do. And I've talked about it before, and that's house hacking. But now house hacking, this new rule, this new offering by Fannie Mae just opens the door for so many people to get into the game. And it's just really exciting, guys. So let's just think about this. You can go in, buy, let's say, a duplex, put 5% down, and let's do the math together. So I'm in my market, a duplex, in good shape is going to go anywhere from 400 to 450. You can get it on the lower scale, but it's going to be rougher. Maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe you want to get into something rougher where you can come in, put that blood, sweat, and tears into it and add some value to it and really make a good return. Now that's definitely plausible, but let's just use 400 for a number. So 400, times 5, that's 20 grand. You get some closing costs in there. Let's just call it 25, maybe 30 grand. In some other markets, you could get into, 250 maybe, right? And then you only got to bring 12 and a half, $12,500 to the deal, and probably less than 20 to get all in. That is just life changing for those that work hard, can make a decent income, and you really just focus on saving money. You don't splurge. You essentially are just spending on the necessities. You can save that type of money. I know you can. And if you need to get a second job or more to save that money, you should do it. Again, you got to sacrifice what most people won't today so you can have what most people can't in the future. That's what it's about. Now, everyone comes from they start their life in a different point. Everyone can have an excuse, but you got to get beyond that. You got to get out there and you got to make it happen. Because let's just look at this. So the way it works is this has to be an owner-occupied property, right? So let's say you buy that duplex for $400,000. You're into it 25, 30,000. You got to live into it technically for at least a year. So you do that again. You have someone on the other side, maybe even a roommate on your side. If you're younger, that's what I do, right? So not only are you having someone on the other side, but you're having a roommate on your side. And if that's the case, you're going to be hard pressed not to at least cover, your expenses on the property. And so once you get those expenses covered, then you can save again. And so you bought this one for 400, then you save another 20, 25, 30 grand, whatever it happens to be, that next year. And then you go and buy another one for 400. You move in and you do the same thing. If you're essentially, if everything worked perfectly, and, it might take more than 3 years, but let's say it takes 3 years. In a perfect world, let's say it takes 3 years. You start when you're 20. By the time you're 23, you have three $400,000 homes. And let's say they didn't appreciate in value. That's still $1.2 million you own in real estate already. With what? A maximum of $90,000 into it. That is life-changing. If you just hold those and pay down the note, in 30 years, you've got minimum $1.2 million. $1.2 million that you could either cash out, refi, and get the majority of that out, or sell and you have $1.2 million. Now, what usually happens in real estate when you're able to have this type of success is you catch the bug, and you usually don't stop at the 3, and it usually snowballs too. It exponentially grows. So yeah, you might do 1 per year for the first 3 years, and then the next year you end up doing 5 or whatever it happens to be. It grows, because once you do the first one, you get over that mental hurdle. You can do it. You also grow your network of people, of critical people that can help you achieve your goals. And that this is also important too, is the network you grow and how you can leverage that network to really, really achieve your goals bigger than you originally thought. But I thought this was a really cool introduction to by Fannie Mae. And I think it's going to help a lot of people. It's going to help a lot of people get into home ownership that may not have been able to qualify for it. Because what a cool thing about this type of loan too is they allow you to generally use up to 75% of the rental income to help you qualify for that loan. So maybe based on your W-2 income, you wouldn't qualify for that type of mortgage, but with that 75% of the rental income coming in from the multifamily you're buying, you do qualify. And so with 5% down, that just helps you get into it now, because we all know home prices have gone through the roof, and small multis trade based off of residential comps, right? It's not the income approach. Like a commercial type of multifamily, a 5+ unit. So with the 2 to 4 units, it's based off of comps, and we all know these have gone through the roof. The average home price in America is over $400,000, and so having the ability to put 5% down and then use the rental income to help you qualify is really powerful. It's going to help a lot of people get into home ownership. And consequently, it's going to help a lot of people grow their wealth. And this is a really exciting time. And so again, if I could go back, turn back the time, this is a question that I've often asked a lot of my guests on this show. For those that have, been around and listened to a lot of my episodes, I always ask, if you had a time machine, what would you, and you go back in time and give yourself one piece of financial advice, what it would be? What would it be? For me, there would be a lot of advice, let's be honest, that I'd give myself. But this would be at the top, near the top of the list, if not at the top of the list, is house hacking. And back then I wouldn't have had this option, but house hacking would have been at the top of the list. You get in, you buy something, and then you can bring in roommates. You can rent out another unit that helps you pay for your mortgage, if not cover it, if not even potentially make money. That's powerful. And then you can save money and do it again and do it again. And then eventually you have a portfolio. Can you imagine if you did it for 10 years in a row? That's crazy. 10 years in a row at 400,000 a pop. Let's just say it is, in a perfect world, you're looking at a minimum $4 million portfolio of over 30 years. You pay down the mortgage, $4 million. And let's be honest, over 30 years, real estate has never not appreciated. So it's most likely going to appreciate over 30 years, and your portfolio would be worth more than $4 million. So guys, this is a great strategy. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely look into it. Do your research. And for those that are looking to house hack, this is a powerful tool. And guys, if you got value out of this episode, there's one thing I always ask. It's the only fee we have on this show. And that's, if you got value, to please share it with someone who you think could also get value, because that's how we grow the show. And the point of me doing this show is to impart wisdom onto others, to help them achieve their goals, because it's something I wish I had when I was younger. Now there's plenty of content out there, but when I was first starting out, the world of podcasts, YouTube, content creation just wasn't where it's at today. And so this is my way of giving back. And the only way to get in front of more ears and eyes is for those that get value out of it to share it with others. And if you haven't done so, please also leave a rating and review on the platform you listen to. If it's on YouTube, obviously subscribe and give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And as always, easy doesn't pay well, and instant gratification is self-destructive. So not only get out there and work hard for your money, but have your money work hard for you. Because at the end of the day, it's personal excellence that's going to make this world a better place. All right, everybody, catch you on the next one.
Hey, this is Shawn Winslow. After being in the financial service industry for years and having candid conversations with good people just like you, I realized that so many of us are wanting an investment strategy that provides solid returns and consistent income without the bumps in the road. There's little known secret that your financial advisor doesn't want you to know. There is investment out there that is less volatile and the returns are stronger. Get more details by going to greenbriercg.com and clicking on the free e-report. And by the way, if this show has provided you any value, then feel free to leave an honest written review and of course share it with a friend who needs it. See you next week for another great show.